Expound on that.
What you just described is the condition of a lot of women today, where you stay with him based on his potential. He can change. With my love, with my nurturing, with my good stuff, with my influence, he can change, right? So you're not even in love with who's in front of you. You're in love with the hypothetical motherfucker that don't even exist yet. And then when you waste 3 or 4 years of your time and he doesn't turn into that, you break up with him because he didn't want to grow up or he wanted to think like a boy. No. Look,
you're thinking of the worst case scenario.
Women do it all the time.
How about men, right? I'm trying to think of somebody in society. Say for instance, some of these football players or basketball players, right?
They're not regular people.
Okay, let's take them out of the equation. How about when you start out together in a relationship and you both have aspirations, and at that point you're both equal? Say for instance, he has a goal to open his own business and she wants to pursue something. In a sense, the woman can see that her man has goals. So it doesn't always have to be the worst case scenario where it's like a person that says, oh, I have potential, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but never actually execute it and, get up and hit the ground.
You don't see them doing anything. You want to see at least something like, okay, he's trying.
Women will never be able to love men the way we love y'all. And look, and I'm gonna expound.
That means we love damn hard.
I'm gonna expound. I'm gonna expound even further on that. The same way I said that a woman will give it a man based on his potential. A man could say something that you have never heard a woman say. I'm about to tell you.
Please.
I love this woman. If she never gained or lost another pound for the rest of her life, I'd be okay with that. If she never gained or lost another $1 per year, I would be okay with that. If she never got another promotion, I would be okay with that. If I didn't get any more sex than what I have right now, I would be okay with that. If the less she changes for the rest of our life, the happier I will be. No woman can say that about her man, because as Lisa pointed out earlier, y'all are looking for exponential game leveling up. Y'all want to see change.
Lisa, do you want to give more clarity to that statement?
Yes.
I was just responding because he was putting all the responsibility on a woman. So I was just saying it's not always just her. The reason why, they're not intimate anymore.
She was saying
it could be something else.
Because he didn't step, she said because he didn't step his game up. That can mean that not just that he didn't level up, that he didn't have a job. He lost his job and he's not doing anything.
I think on a deeper level, there's a fantasy that all of y'all have.
All of y'all. This is all of us. All of us.
I'm gonna say all this time, not some of y'all.
I'm just saying it's not always the woman's fault. It could be the man's fault as well.
This is not about fault. This is about observation.
You're saying that when a woman gets married, she stops having sex with her man. I don't think that that's true. And if that happens, maybe it's not something that she's doing. Maybe it's something that he's doing where she's not attracted to him anymore.
If she's saying that the reason why she doesn't want to have sex with her man is because of the dynamic that children add, then he still wants to have sex. He's dealing with the kids too.
Yeah. Wait, let me clarify that. Okay. I made that statement to basically say that when you have a newborn child, and a woman has to bring life into this world, either through a cesarean or vaginal birth, any true loving partner, husband, or just a significant, a partner, they're gonna want to be there emotionally. So after a woman brings life, and I'm gonna say that again, life into this world, I'm sorry. Having sex with her husband is not the number one priority. She's trying to heal the panani. You understand me? She's trying to bring it back together.
So now what you're saying is that 6 weeks of recovery after she has a baby now sets the tone for the rest of their sexual life.
No, that's not.
We're not talking about the recovery time. We're not talking about the recovery time.
Right, but what I'm saying, Mike, is we have to understand that not every single relationship, people are not going to be effing like little bunny rabbits like multiple times. The lust is, oh my God, let's go. No,
I feel like if they just maintain the way that they were in the beginning, minus a couple things you have to adjust to, like children or life or an accident, something drastic. I feel like if you just maintain it and stop. I'm just serious. I'm saying.
Okay, can I ask this question? So what do you say when you're in a relationship with someone who, okay, this might get a little morbid, but I'm not trying to be morbid, but if there's an accident and that significant other loses the ability or they end up in a wheelchair, if it's all about, you know what I'm saying? You know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, da, da, da. There's got to be a layer under the,
right.
Wait a minute. So are we going to go
there's a layer under that. There's got to be a foundation. You know what I mean? It's unconditional love. And you have to be able to understand that beyond this piece, because it's all going to change with age. You got to grow together and be a friend to that person. Because if something turn your world upside down and you can't maybe have that sex you want all the time, and somebody's in a wheelchair or they're this or that, did you truly love that person, or were you just looking at them for a quick FUCK?
No, see, I'm not talking about a wife who lost her vagina in a car accident.
We're not talking
about these extreme.
I cannot.
It's a part of it. It's a part of the story.
No, nothing about what I said has to do with a lack of friendship or a lack of consideration of responsibilities. What I'm saying is, if your wife don't want to sleep with you, you need to understand that there is a man out there that gets her wet every time she sees him. Having kids do not stop women from wanting to have sex. Women reach their sexual peaks.
I never said that.
Women reach their sexual peaks after 35.
No, she was just saying that there's times in the relationship.
And we're not talking about those extreme circumstances.
Okay, not extreme. Let's just say
losing your pussy in a car accident.
Okay, what about depression? Sometimes when you're depressed, is depressed extreme? Is being depressed extreme? Because sometimes you don't fit, like you just physically don't feel like it. And you have to have that communication with your partner and just know, okay, well, and it doesn't, sometimes you don't need to talk about it. You already know it's like, no, that's not extreme.
Listen, for every situation that I have ever seen with a divorce, okay, I've seen a lot of them, okay? I went to a Marine Corps reunion 4 years ago. Me and some guys from my old unit got together. It was about 30 of us, 40 of us up there. And all but one of us had been divorced, okay? And every single one of those divorces, the wife filed for the divorce after she cheated on him, okay? Now, with that being said, let me fix this. With that being said, all of them, when I asked, how did you find out she was cheating on you? All of them said the first sign was she stopped wanting to have sex with them. And she blamed the kids and being at work and having to cook and all of those things. It's not just them. It's just those 30 men.
Yes.
Those 30 disciplined Marines who work hard for their families, who are bad boys and all of that shit. Listen, what we're saying everything except for the real truth, which is the guy who women marry usually are very different from the guy that they want to fuck. The guy that they want to fuck usually has no real value anywhere else in their life, but they are blown away by the BBC.
So you're saying that that's the bad boy?
That is the bad choice.
Oh, yeah.
But the guy who they marry is usually the one who checks all the other boxes, even if the sex is not as good as the one that's in her highlight reel. He can handle responsibilities. He can handle escorting her in public. When I was about to say before, there's a fantasy that I feel like all women have, and they are sitting in a crowd of hundreds of people, and her man is on stage in front of the microphone, accepting an award for whatever he did exceptionally well. And he thanks his staff, he thanks the team, and at the very end, he says, but none of this will be possible without that beautiful woman in the front row right there.
Right.
That beautiful woman in the front, none of this will be possible without her. Mm-hmm. Every woman wants to feel some level of that, which is why you would rather find a guy who is a project who you have to build or hope changes, instead of finding a guy who already did that stuff on his own and don't really need you for anything. He just wants you there.
That's exactly how I feel like a woman is. There's been situations or upbringings that people have where they're like, were instilled inside of them that they need to be okay and take care of themselves. So when a man comes to some of those women's lives, you're just an add-on because the party was already starting. So you're not expecting all those things from them.
But you know what the difference is?
You're not expecting all this. You were just to add on to my life that was already amazing before you got here.
Yeah, but the difference is when a man is looking for a woman, he's not looking for a woman to make what he makes or more. That's something women say. Men ain't looking for providers. Women are. So the more successful you are as a woman, the more successful you are as a woman, the smaller your dating pool just got, because no matter how successful you become, you're still looking for a man that makes more money than you. Men don't have that problem. That's why T.I. got songs like "You Can Have Whatever You Like." We could be a millionaire and pick up a girl working the register at Burger King, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. Oprah ain't gonna never pick him up.
Okay, go ahead, Nelsie. I want to hear what you have to say.
You know, Mike, I'm hearing you, but it just seems like as you talk about women, like we're these fragile, breakable China, the China dolls that have to be on display.
What did I say to make you say that?
Because the perception that you have, you know what I mean, that we need.
What did I say? What did I say that describes these women as fragile?
Okay, let's talk about women who are already career oriented, that have established themselves. Because I have a lot of friends who are married and career oriented. I have friends who are not married and are kicking ass in corporate America and nonprofits and doing very well for themselves. So I feel like when you talk about men, you do come with this idea that, I am a man, I'm a protector, I'm a this, I'm a that. And then when you talk about women, we seem like we're these young, incapable little things that cannot stand firm in who we are and what we can bring to a relationship.
But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but what did I say to bring you to that?
When you just made a statement before that a woman is always looking for a man that can make more than her, and then a man is never
not providers and protectors.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Is it safe to say that most women, when assessing who is going to be a good lifetime partner for them, they are looking for providers and protectors?
We're looking for somebody that is.
Is it safe to say that most women are looking for providers and protectors?
That's not I would say that may be a part of what they're looking for, but it's not dependent.
You're not answering my question.
It's such a wide answer, though. You're wanting us to say yes.
No, is it safe to say if I lined 100 women up right now, if I put 100 women in a line and I said to label, because you only can take 3, are you trying to tell me that having a man who is a provider and a protector is not going to be at the top of most women's lists?
No, it's not going to be at the top. I have to disagree. No,
a provider go ahead.
Go ahead, Lisa.
A provider doesn't necessarily mean he needs to make more money than me.
Right.
He needs to make money.
But that ain't how most women feel.
No,
he needs to have a job.
Right. So that's what I was talking about. I agree with you. Just like Lisa said, if he has a job, I don't think it has to be he has to make more money. If he had a job and we were making the same amount of money, or I'm just saying for me, I am most women. Hi guys. But I was saying that we would be okay with the guy that didn't have a job that wasn't so great if we see potential, or we knew that you could see, okay, if he wants to start his own job and you want to you don't think so?
Maybe he's going to school to become.
I see Mike nodding because you said the word potential. My thing is above protector, provider, I need a man that can respect me and show me love.
Yeah.
And all of that will come. But for me, and I think a lot of women, respect and love dominate if you want to get the top.
Especially women that are already established. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have your job. So coming here, it would just be an add-on. I feel it.
Him and his wife, when they first met, neither one of them had their careers yet. They met young in high school. When they decided to get married in their early 20s, they made a plan. She wanted to go to nursing school. He wanted to go to video production school so he could be a producer. Okay. Now, being the man, he said, I'm going to work 2 jobs to finance her going to school and help her get on first. And then I'm going to get on second. Before he even got into the story, you nod yes, but before he even got into the story, I already was saying that was a terrible idea, because exactly what I thought was going to happen happened.
You left him?
He paid for her to go to school. She got her $75,000, $80,000 a year job at the hospital. Now it's her turn to pay for him to go to school to be a production engineer. And every time they get in an argument, guess what's the first thing that comes out of her mouth? How she's paying for him to go to school and how he ain't making no money. As a man, if you're going to lead, you are no good to your family if you're not good first. Which means I have to make sure I am rested, that I have secured my purpose, Sometimes I'm gonna have to tell my wife or my girlfriend, I can't spend time today, because if I give all my resources to you, all my energy to you, all my time to you, it'll make you great, and then I end up being nothing, and you don't respect me anymore.
Okay, I hear him. That is that situation. But I feel like just the same for a woman. If we don't like take care of ourselves, being mothers, because mothers, we have a lot of hats. Being wives, you have a lot of hats. So it's like we have to pull ourselves in all those different situations. And I feel like it's not fair to say that we don't feel just the same.
The hats that men have to wear in a familial dynamic. Who gave us those hats?
Are we going biblical now?
Whatever you want.
The women made them.
All the expectations of a man in a relationship, all the things that you could think of, who gave us those responsibilities? Who gave us
Your
those?
father?
Yeah.
Our father?
Either the male figure in your life, or we could go back to the Bible. It depends on the person.
Okay, we'll go back to the Bible then, because that would make more sense than our fathers.
Right, okay.
Everything that a man is expected to do for a woman was a responsibility that was given to us by women. Okay? If we take away all of the freedoms and the conveniences that we have in a first world country, which, by the way, feminism and the idea of complete independence from a man is something that can only exist in a first world country. Talk that independent shit in Baghdad. The men over there
where women are being persecuted and being thrown in jail, or being in India gang raped and dying. Like, I don't think that's a good example.
But I didn't even finish the example. All of the relationships all of the responsibilities that a man has to a woman from day one is a responsibility that was bestowed upon us by women that lead media, by women that have all of the talk shows and talk about what they deserve and what men don't do. I don't want no scrubs, bills, okay? But every hardship that women have today, I'm not talking about traditional values, because traditionally men worshiped women to the point where we felt like y'all were too special to do anything hard or dirty. But today, all of the headaches that you guys have from, or if he just asks her for a paternity test, and I hear a lot of women say that. So my question to you is, why not have it mandated? Now listen, I want you to be careful when you answer this, okay? I don't want you to say anything other than why it's a bad idea for this to just be an automatic part of the process.
Why is it a bad idea?
He's crazy.
I really can't give you a real answer why it's a bad idea.
Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted to hear? That's what he wanted. No, we're gonna give him an answer.
Gabby,
no.
I'll rest my case.
Let me answer. Let me ask me a question.
Why can you give me one tangible negative reason why having automatic paternity testing done?
If it's universal, I have no qualms against it.
What do you mean?
If it's for everyone and not just a boyfriend or a husband that thinks his wife has cheated.
That it should be.
Yeah, but you're trying to split the hair. Ain't nobody saying nothing about married or unmarried. We're talking about a man and a woman that has a baby coming. Those people, I'm not saying married people should be omitted from this, because guess what? Wives cheat too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
So basically you agree. There is no good reason to not do it.
If it is universal, I 110% agree.
See, and I think the opposite. I think that we should do it upon a request.
But why would we request it if a woman is going to shut us down with her attitude and her negative nature about it?
Yeah, I think if it was requested, I think I would get offended, and I think a lot of people would get offended because they would feel like their significant other doesn't trust them.
Yeah, because this is really important, and a man knows that he needs to know the paternity of his child. So why we got to wait till we realize the kid don't look like us before we ask the question? If we know we're going to get shamed, insulted, and guilted to death, then why would we ask a woman who we love? Why even put that wall between us when it could just be a part of the process and everybody has peace of mind?
That's why we shouldn't have it, because it'll cause problems.
No, it will only cause problems if the baby ain't his.
Well, I feel like I should be in charge of, and I think that that's the reason why I have nothing to hide. But I don't want, like I said, someone to make me feel like I need to do something I don't want to do. Just like the COVID testing.
And I feel like what I put inside my woman's vagina is my responsibility, and I should know if it's mine.
Let's close the legs on this, guys. Let's close the legs on this, guys. This
I'm responsible for what I put in there, right?
We're not getting far with this.
Because at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, if a woman gets pregnant and she says, "Baby, I'm pregnant," he goes, "Damn, that's cool, but I'm really not ready for a child. Like, I'm just getting started in my career. I'm not ready." She's gonna say, "Fine." She'll have the baby. She'll have the baby, and then she'll bind him to child support and call him a deadbeat for the rest of his life, when he made it clear that he was not ready for a child. But when she don't want the child, she can terminate. So, in the words of the great philosopher Dave Chappelle, if you got the right to kill it, I at least should be able to neglect it.
That is just, I love Dave Chappelle, but that is so wrong.
That's so many.
Wrong as it is, the message is solid. If a woman can choose to kill it if she don't want it, a man should be able to decide to just not be there without being bound financially. If he's making it clear upfront that he didn't want a baby, and we can go to a bunch of unrealistic ass, well, if you don't want a baby, then don't have sex. We human, we gonna have sex, all right? So,
I was actually going to say, just because a man is on child support does not mean that he's a deadbeat father. Going through the child support system may just make it more
your communication.
It may just be easier. So a man on child support doesn't always mean that they're a deadbeat father. It may just be better financially. There may not be. You never know the dynamic, right? So some people rather do it without the court system, and some people rather do it in the court system to just keep it friendly and just go their own separate ways. So it doesn't mean that they're a deadbeat dad because they're using child support system.
Me and my kids' mom do it outside of court because I am an active father. I'm there for my kids.
You can be an active father and be on child support.
I give her money, but why do I have to include the government? I'm giving her money and I'm seeing my kids just as much as her, then why do I need to include the government? I think child support.
Because what if she just didn't want to see you no more? You guys got in a fight.
Of the co-parenting relationship, Mike. Not every co-parent.
I can answer her question.
Go ahead.
Okay, honey.
Child support should only be used as a means of taking care of a child in the case that the father is absent or unwilling after presenting that he wants to be dad. But if he is saying from the beginning, when she shows him a pregnancy test and he says that I don't want to be a dad, he should have just as much of a right to not be around as she has a right to terminate that pregnancy. And I know that sounds terrible, but again, these are double standards that we don't address. And also, the paternity testing is to protect the woman too. Okay, it's not just for a man. It's not just for a man. The automatic paternity testing is also protect the woman from the situation where the father was there and then disappears. And now all of his information is in the system, and they already know paternity. They already know where he works and all that shit. So they don't even need him in court. She can just go to court and say he is gone and I need my money, and they can get it.
But in some cases, the baby daddy don't even show up to the hospital, so we don't even have to worry about it because he wants to be a deadbeat big time.
Or maybe he just wasn't interested in being a father. Again, he's not a deadbeat just because he doesn't want to be a dad. Just like a woman is not a piece of shit because she decides to terminate.
But the baby's here already, so you are a deadbeat. So you have a baby that's here.
So is it safe to say that a woman who terminates her pregnancy is a deadbeat?
No.
Shannon, a woman, when a woman decides that she doesn't want to have a child, either she's too young, she just got started in her career, she don't feel confident that she's going to make enough money, she doesn't feel confident in her relationship with the man, and she decides to terminate that pregnancy. Every woman here believes that it's just her prerogative to make that decision. But if a man says, I am not ready to be a father for whatever my reasons are, go ahead.
Mike, there was a point in time where women did not have the ability to decide.
That's not today. That's not today. We're talking about today, 2022.
Agreed. But I think a woman's right to decide what happens to her body. I mean, we don't, as women, society doesn't have a law. Why don't they go ahead and go ahead and castrate men or make them sterile? Like, since we want to talk about
so we have to go to the extreme of removing a man's testicles just to keep y'all responsible. The same way you want to say there was a time when a woman didn't have those rights, there was also a time when a man knew once he married his woman, she was a virgin, and he didn't have these questions. But since that day is gone, this is the sum. Correct. This is the sum of equality. This is the sum of women having sexual liberation. This is the sum of prophylactics, termination, adoption, Plan B, and contraceptives. So if you want to go back to the old system, we can do that. Keep your box in your pants, and we don't have to worry about this. But as long as you want to feel free to have sex with whoever you want to, as long as you want to, and have babies with whoever you want to as many times, then a man should have the peace of mind to know, is that baby really mine? And I don't want to wait till I have a red-headed 15-year-old in front of me as a Black man.
Well, I mean, there goes the trust in that relationship.
Yeah. It ain't about trust. Again, the shame, insults, and guilt. This is not about trust. This is about certainty. This is about certainty.
It's just trusting them enough to know that they're telling the truth.
What did Nelsia say earlier? I believe that marriage is forever, but I'm not stupid enough to believe that things don't happen. One of those things that can happen is a woman can give her body to another man extramaritally. It happens more commonly than you think. Between the ages of 18 and 24, women actually cheat more than men, contrary to popular belief. The gap only gets wider as men get older because men are still sexually attractive on the dating market after 40 than women are. A man can still go out and sleep with a 25-year-old woman at 40 years old. A 40-year-old woman don't have that same inclination.
Lisa, how do you feel about it, Lisa?
I can't even say anything right now. There's so much.
Like the fact of the fact. This ain't about nothing.
As far as the mandates, though, I'm not against that. Also, for the reason because I have a son, and if he was with a woman that I thought wasn't like, a good woman, like it would be nice to have that comfort knowing, for him, knowing that the baby's his. And I think that it would bring less drama for him to ask her, rather than just have a mandate there, So
actually,
I'm not against that part of it.
I like the point of view you just brought up too. Let's think about it this way. Now, Sia, do you have a son?
He's 3 years old, but I have an 18-year-old daughter.
Okay. When your son is, let's say he's 28 years old, he just finished medical school. He's working on his residency at his first hospital. He's making $150,000 a year. He just bought his own home. He's doing great in life.
That's my boo.
You proud of your baby?
That's why.
And he says that he got a woman pregnant, married or not. Would you want him to blindly go into that situation? Or would you expect him to be sure that that child was his before he bound himself financially to that family?
Okay, you're gonna get mad at me, but I would like to know a little bit more about the dynamic of that relationship.
Make me do it. Make me do it. Make me do it.
Thinking about our sons, we're like, oh, okay.
Do you want the best for your son or not? Do you want the best for your son or not?
Yes, she does.
I would tell him to get a paternity test to confirm that's his child.
Look.
I love you, Nelsia.
Love you, Nelsia.
You rest your case. I would not want this woman to come and derail my baby's medical career because mama will be taken care of, and I would make sure that's my son's child.
And the reason why is just because he loved that woman don't mean she loved him the same, right? Agreed. And we don't know what she do in the dark, right?
She may have stepped out.
Mike Tyson said something recently on his podcast talking to Boosie. And he said something beautiful about the dynamic of men today looking for a mother's love from his romantic interest. And he said that you should never expect a mother's love from your woman because she ain't your mother. Your mother loved you for your better good. A woman loves you for her better good.
Agreed.
And this is real. So for everything that we have argued to this point, I would implore you and every woman watching this video right now, if it was your son, what would you want for him?
Oh, he did. That was a mic drop for him, ladies.
My name is Mike Murray, and I approve this message. I'm running for mayor.
I think that we can agree to disagree on the whole. No,
listen,
no, I'm saying we agreed that if it was our son, we would want that. I'm just saying, like,
just not y'all.
I was talking about the other women, just in case other people felt the way that they do. But I wanted to thank everybody today for this phone call. It was beautiful. It was fun. I learned a lot. I sat back like, I really wanted to listen and see other people's point of view. And I think I got that. Some things I didn't agree with. But I still love you guys all the same. And I'm just excited to hear how people felt about it too. So please, please, please comment like the video, subscribe. Even if you don't like the video, which you should because it's awesome, you should definitely let us hear your opinion because I feel like we can all learn from it. And that's pretty much the base of this show is to learn, you know.
Absolutely. And Lisa, thank you for coming back. Nasia, thank you for coming back. In the comments specifically, do you feel like paternity testing should be a mandatory part of bringing a child into this world? I want to know what you think.
Yes.
And if you got us, this is a special request. If there is a man watching, if there is one man watching who paid child support or raised a child to find out later that the child wasn't theirs, please leave the story in the comments because I'm going to bring your ass up in the next video. It's going to go in my toolbox. All right. But again, thank you everybody for watching. This is another episode of Phone Call.
Yes.
We love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we out.
Thank you guys.